Okay, so ready to dive into some maybe a little out there stuff.
Always up for an adventure. What do we have?
So it's about chosen ones. Like that feeling we all have that there's a bigger purpose out there for
Yeah,
us.
the whole destiny thing. Sounds
Oh, yep.
intriguing.
And you sent over this video, Texto Colado, and it breaks down this whole chosen one thing into 9 different types.
9, like different flavors of destiny.
Exactly. And it got me thinking, like, what if these aren't just stories, but like clues to understanding our own paths?
Okay, I'm hooked. Lay it on me. What's first?
All right, so buckle up because we're starting with the Oracle, like those mysterious seers, seeing the future, that kind of vibe.
Ah, tapping into the cosmic mainframe. Classic.
Right. And the video calls out their triple C abilities: clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsentience.
Triple C. They sound overqualified.
Right, like having superpowers, but for, life advice.
So more guidance counselor than fortune teller.
Yeah, it's like they're tuned into a different frequency, picking up on stuff the rest of us miss.
Makes you wonder what we're missing out on.
Totally. Okay, now let's switch gears completely. The free spirit.
Okay, I'm feeling that.
Yeah.
Unconventional, right?
Totally. The video describes them as uncontrollable and rebels. They just don't fit in the box.
And the world needs those people, shaking
Yeah.
things up,
100%. They're all about authenticity, no matter what anyone else says.
which can be tough, going against the grain. Respect.
For sure. Okay, next up, the truth teller. And this one, I feel like we all know this person.
Oh yeah, speaks their mind, no filter.
Yes, they call out BS even when it's uncomfortable.
Essential though, right? Someone's got to do it.
Totally. And the video talks about how important truth tellers are for change. Like, they're the ones who spark movements.
Speaking truth to power, even when it's risky. Brave.
So true. Okay, ready for a more like undercover type?
Hit me with it.
The inspiring infiltrator. Think secret agent, but instead of, stealing secrets, they're spreading a message.
Subtle influence. I like it. How they work.
Art, music, even just everyday conversations, they weave their message into everything.
So they're planting seeds of awareness.
Yeah, exactly. Like making you think without you even realizing.
Clever. Very clever. Who's next on our list of chosen ones?
Okay, now for one that might hit close to home for some people, the confused chosen one.
Confused. How so?
It's like they sense there's something more to life, but they have no idea what it is or what to do about it.
Oh, the existential crisis. Chosen one. Been there.
Right. It's that feeling of, I'm awake, but now what?
Totally. It's a process,
No.
figuring that part out.
For sure. So it's not like we're just, one of these chosen ones, right?
Right. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal.
Like I could see myself as a bit of a free spirit, but also maybe a healer.
Exactly. It's more like a spectrum. We can embody different aspects at different times.
Okay, that makes me feel less boxed in. But it does make you wonder, how does one, like, become a chosen one?
The age-old question, destiny or choice. Tough one.
Right. Is it in the stars, or do we just decide, yep, I'm choosing this chosen one life now?
Well, the video suggests it's a bit of both. Like, there's this idea of being anointed, but also it's about actively choosing to fulfill that purpose.
Okay, so less about waiting for a lightning strike, more about, like, noticing the sparks and fanning the flames.
Exactly. We all have that potential for greatness inside. It's about tapping into it, making it happen.
So it's not just about us then, right? It's about how we impact the world.
Right. Each chosen one archetype, they all play a role in creating positive change in their own way.
Like the truth teller shakes things up, forces people to be more honest.
Yes. And the healer reminds us to take care of ourselves, each other, the whole shebang.
And the warrior, I mean, talk about making a difference. Fighting for what's right, inspiring others to do the same.
Exactly. It's like each one holds a piece of the puzzle to a better world.
Okay, but it doesn't have to be all, saving the world level stuff, right?
Not at all. Sometimes the most powerful changes happen in the small moments.
Like just being kind, speaking up for what's right, even when it's hard.
Exactly. It's those everyday choices that ripple outwards. Never underestimate their power.
Okay, that's actually really inspiring. So before we get too lost in the big picture, so we've looked at all these different chosen ones, but how do we actually like put this into practice?
Right, because it's not just a fun thought experiment, right?
Exactly. So like what now? What's the takeaway?
Well, I think the key is to see these archetypes as more like guideposts than, strict definitions.
Okay, I like that. So it's not about trying to fit ourselves into a specific box.
Exactly. It's about using these archetypes to understand our own strengths, our own potential, like what resonates with us, what feels true.
And maybe a little scary too, right? Like realizing, wait, I could actually be that person who makes a difference.
Oh, absolutely. But that's where the good stuff happens, right? When we step outside our comfort zones, embrace the challenge,
Totally. And the thing that's really sticking with me is this idea that it's not just about us.
right? The ripple effect. It's like
Yeah.
when we step into our power, it impacts everyone around
But
us.
the video really emphasized that, like, each chosen one in their own way is contributing to a better world.
Right. The truth teller pushes us towards honesty. The healer reminds us to take care of ourselves, each other.
And the warrior, I mean, they're out there fighting for justice, inspiring the rest of us to stand up too.
It's like we all have a role to play in this grand cosmic drama.
Okay, that is a really powerful image. So if you had to like sum it all up, what would you say is the big takeaway here?
I think it's about recognizing the potential within ourselves.
Yeah.
That spark, that calling, whatever you want to call it, it's there. And it's about having the courage to fan those flames, to see where they lead,
Even if we don't have it all figured out yet.
especially then, because that's where the growth happens, when we embrace the unknown, the uncertainty.
So well said. And on that note, I think it's time for us to wrap up this deep dive. But before we go, I want to leave you with this one question from the video. It really stuck with me, and I think it's worth pondering. If you were to fully embrace your role as a chosen one, what would your unique mission be? What change would you seek to create in the world?
It's a big question. But I think it's in those big questions that we find our true purpose. So, yeah, sit with that one for a while. Let those ideas bubble up.
Love it. All right, everyone, that's it for this deep dive. Hope you enjoyed the journey as much as we did. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and most importantly, keep shining bright.